Good afternoon from Colombo, Sri Lanka. This is Dr. Pamod Amarakon representing Health Informatics Society of Sri Lanka. I would like to warmly welcome all of you around the globe for the special 18-hour G2MC Grand Rounds. Rapid advances in genome sequencing technologies, bioinformatics, and computational biology is heralding an era of genomic medicine. This series of lectures conducted by the Global Genomic Medicine Collaborative supported by the Health Informatics Society of Sri Lanka and the Asia eHealth Information Network will showcase some of the pioneering initiatives in genomic medicine around the globe. This series would be co-hosted by Professor Bruce Koff from University of Alabama in Birmingham, United States, and Professor Vajra Disanayake from University of Colombo, the co-chairs of the Educational Working Group of G2MC. Before moving on to today's session, I'll briefly mention a few things to remember while using the WebEx platform. Once you have logged in to WebEx, the left panel is where you shall see the content presented by the panelists, including PowerPoint presentations, videos, etc. The right panel contains some useful tools. If you click on the participants icon, it will display all panelists and attendees currently logged in to the event. The Q&A button can be used to ask questions from the panelists. You can also provide feedback during the presentation by clicking on applause, yes, no, too fast, too slow, and laughter buttons. Please note that your microphone will be automatically muted once you join in as an attendee. If you encounter any issues in receiving audio during the webinar, please log out from the WebEx platform and try to re-log in. With this brief introduction on WebEx, I would like to invite Professor Vajra Disanayake, the co-chair of the Education Working Group of the G2MC, to moderate today's session. Over to you, Professor Disanayake.
Welcome to the second edition of G2MC Grand Rounds. Today we have a pioneer in the field of pharmacogenomics, Professor Vasun Chintarita, who is the head of the Center for Medical Genomics and the head of Library Laboratory in the Department of Pathology at the Faculty of Medicine, Ramapititi Hospital in Bangkok, Thailand. Dr. Vasun is a member of the Pharmacogenomics Working Group of the Global Genomic Medicine Collaborative, and he has been doing some pioneering work in the field of pharmacogenomics in Thailand. So without further ado, I'd like to invite the professor to present the work that they are doing in Thailand.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will start with the title would be the Pharmacogenomics Initiative in Thailand. I think it would be benefit for the developing countries and also developed country as well. We will share with you the current practice and future collaboration. First of all, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the pharmacogenomics. Pharmacogenomics is a subset of the genomic medicine and the current practice and the future collaboration. Pharmacogenomics is part of the genomic medicine, while the genomic medicine is part of precision medicine or personalized medicine. And the big picture, what is the pharmacogenomics? Pharmacogenomics is a study of gene affect person respond to drugs. This relatively new field combine pharmacology and genomics to develop effective, safe medication and doses that will be tailored to a person's genetics. And what is the pharmacogenetic testing? The testing, also called in a drug sensitivity testing, is testing of certain genes to determine how individuals are going to react to specific medication. This greatly reduce the need for trial and error dosing and can reduce the risk of adverse drug reaction or ADR substantially, and we will talk much about the ADR for today. It's just the beginning, introduced to many physicians, hospitals, and clinics. Pharmacogenetics is a science that holds enormous promise and will doubly reduce medical costs and increase the effectiveness of any drug in the future. That's why it's very important for developing countries like Thailand to adapt this kind of technology. It is to be said that pharmacogenomic is a low-hanging fruit of genomic medicine, meaning that you can take it, you can do it even right now. Because to deal with it, you don't need to do the whole genome sequencing. You don't need to edit genes or turn to stem cells or prescribe that target mutation in the patient DNA. You just need to screen people for the risk variants and withhold the triggering drugs. The best solution for resource-rich countries, which is not Thailand, would be to fade out the culprit drugs. However, because these newer drugs are more expensive, some resource-limited countries, such as Thailand, have found it harder to make the switch. In many developing countries, it's more cost-effective to screen patients due to undergo certain medication for the associated high-risk genetic marker before they receive the medication. You can see that moreover, if you look at the prevalence of the risk areas worldwide, based on the very prominent of causing ADR from three medicines, starting from abacavir, allopurinol, and carbamazepine, you can see that in Southeast Asia or perhaps in Asia, we are quite have a high risk areas in the population. This is another reason why you have or Thailand have to focus on this because this is the hotspot in the world. And you can realize that many conference or workshop recently have been established or took place in Asia, particularly Southeast Asia. For example, this Monday, there is a Pharmacogenomic Symposium organized by Sapphire, Singapore. And this is all the group that you can see that actually the Pharmacogenomic Working Group is not the big one. You can see all the prominent people from all over the world, from UK, from US, from Australia, Netherlands, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, for example. And next month, we're going to have the 5th Southeast Asian Pharmacogenomic Research Network meeting in Bangkok. And it's free if anyone would like to join. I just request all the speakers to present it in English. And it's a one-day conference, which is in July 15. There are many topics that would be really interesting. You can see that now more and more the Southeast Asian countries, such as Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Laos, Indonesia, Vietnam, join hands and attend the conference. In the near future, we perhaps have a Malaysia, Philippines, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Brunei to join together. It's simply be finding the scientists who have a passion in this topic. That's all. The easiest way to reduce the incidence of ADR would be to screen people for high-risk variant and withhold triggering drug even prior to the drug approval or release. However, it would be harder to implement low-cost pharmacogenetic assay at the stage or national health program. Very difficult. But the difficult part is not that, it's being safe and effective utilization in hospital. In the community hospital or the people or the hospital that have many patients, let's say in Thailand, many doctors take turn to take care of a patient. And the patient could easily suffer from ADR, even though he or she tested positive for ADR risk gene. I have to emphasize that the main reason is that hospital somehow doesn't have efficient EMR equipped with a warning system to notify all parties involved that particular patient contain or get positive for ADR risk real already. Let me explain to you about the hospital in Thailand. I'm now working in the university hospital named Ramathipati Hospital. There's two main buildings. One is there is a Center of Medical Genomics is located. Another building is for the Pharmacogenomic laboratory and clinic. The two buildings are maybe 1 kilometer apart, connected with the sky walk. Hospital in Thailand, and many people always ask me whenever I went to the conference that who actually paid for the test. In Thailand, it's very simple. I can answer you. And first of all, we have the National University Hospital, 12 of them. They do teaching, research, and clinical services under the Ministry of Education because we do teaching too. The Ramathipati Hospital, joint hand with the Thailand Center of Excellence for Life Science, T-cells, has established the first of its kind pharmacogenetics or pharmacogenomic clinic and laboratory since 2011. And if you're talking about public or community hospital, we have about 10,000 under Ministry of Public Health. This one, the people would enjoy coming to the hospital and also have the reimbursement or the what you call universal healthcare coverage scheme since 2001 support them for medication and so on. For example, for the pharmacogenomic, the one of its kind start 2 years ago is SLB style 1502 aerial. You can get the support from the universal healthcare coverage, it means free, prior to do the initial carbamazepine therapy. We have 316 private big hospitals. Come to the question that who pay for the test. If you're talking about the old or generic drugs like a carbamazepine, allopurinol, perhaps the government need to support under what you call universal healthcare coverage scheme. But I just mentioned that there's only one and only one now. It's HLB star 1502. And in the near future, we perhaps include more and more like SIP or other HIV testing. And for the new drug, is who will pay for the new medication? It turned out in Thailand that the company who's selling that usually support the PX testing. For example, the HIV drug, for example, the abacavir. Now the company who sells abacavir also pay for the PX testing before the patient receive the abacavir. Or many other drug cancer do the same scheme as well. With the function of the government, particularly the Thai FDA, that join hand with the hospital, community hospital throughout Thailand. For example, Dr. Wimon, she's worked very hardly, very effectively to bring down the number of Stephen Johnson and 10 in Thailand down dramatically. And not because of the PGX testing alone, we need other understanding from the public. And in Thailand, we educate or we train our pharmacists in the community hospital or the government hospital throughout Thailand. You can see their picture. They come and have the conference on the once or twice on yearly basis. And if you can read Thai, it means that they are under the topic of the meeting at that time. At last year is the how to screen the HLA and the HLA related to the adverse drug reaction organized by Thai FDA. And you can see me standing over there and I'm part of the speaker. And let's talk about the private hospital. They're also very helpful as well. If you look at the world best hospital for medical tourists, the top 10 of all time, you can look through it carefully. You can see that mostly in Asia, particularly Southeast Asia. The top 3 of all time is not Thai. But if you look closely, you can see that we have many, at least 2 Thai hospitals involved in the best hospital for medical tourists. One is Bamrurat, another one is Bangkok Hospital Medical Center. From the Bangkok Hospital, it's not just one hospital, it's like a chain of hospitals throughout Bangkok, Thailand, and also provinces. All this is the key player who pay for the PDX testing and let the university hospital to do the test. Let's talk about the genomic research or genomic medicine or pharmacogenomic in Thailand. It started maybe 11 years ago with under the government and this prime minister that started or launched the pharmacogenomics. We asked the help for the U.S., our friend from U.S., that we would like to start the genomic in the medical care, and it turned out that the Oracle show up, and there's a news 10 or 11 years ago that the Thai government, with the new establishment of Thailand Center of Excellence for Life Science, T-Cell, collaborate with the Oracle. What they need at that time, this 11 years ago, is the patient clinical data and genetic data for research project that could aid in the development of drugs and also treatment that are tailored for individual patients based on their genomic characteristics. Having said that, at 10 years ago, once we look at that, we don't have the patient clinical data. We don't have genetic data of our patients at all at that time. Patient clinical data is in the hospital. Sometimes it's in the file, sometimes it's in the server, but each server in each hospital cannot communicate to each other. We don't know how to do that, and we can hardly get the data efficiently from each hospital database at all at that time. That's why we have to learn how to adapt to the HL7 and so on. And for the genetic data for Thai population, I will tell you how can we get that later on. But at that time, the plan have mapped out. And the meeting just thought at that time that the first significant amount of data for use in research project will likely be available in 24 or 36 months. But actually it takes 10 years. I mean, right now that we seem to have that enough data. So the 7 years ago, another government, because we keep changing government, right? And the government at that time collaborate with the Japan government under the RIKEN institution. RIKEN is kindly enough to provide us the service of the SNP typing. Our scientists went there and brought with them the nearly 4,000 normal and patient DNA to do genome typing or SNP typing, aiming for the genome-wide associated studies. We do the analysis part, and when we finish, those scientists brought the DNA back home. And after that, today, everyone can realize that the gene sequencing is now close to the state that we call the most of the people can afford. The prices drop down. Even in developing in Thailand, we can do the sequence. Not the whole sequence, maybe exome or part of a list of target gene easily, because of pricing is nearly everyone developing or developed country can afford. And this is the platform that We equip in the Center for Medical Genomics in Pharmacogeneti Hospital. We have about 6 or 7 units of NGS. The platform is vary. It depends upon the pricing and the turnaround time and so on. And now, government of today, they emphasize on the budget that put into the science that have to be turned out the innovative services, innovative products. That what pharmacogenomics could play a key role as well. And we have a 5-year plan for genomic medicine, study based on the sequencing and involved with the unknown pathogen, PGS, PGT, NIPT, newborn screening, pharmacogenomic, undiagnosed, and cancer thing. All the innovative product and services have turned to or help the startup company in Thailand. That is the plan for the government, which when they provide the budget for us. And all in all, you can see that the crucial one is not the platform, because the platform keeps changing on the 2 or 3 year basis. Next generation, after next generation, platform will come out. But the very important part is the analysis and interpretation. That's why we have the group of people to do the analysis and interpretation. We call it brainstorming unit. The brainstorming unit have many people involved, mostly the clinician or the pharmacist or the people work in the lab for particular issue like a lung cancer, cell-free tumor DNA is one group, undiagnosed and rare is another group, BRCA1, 2 is another team, newborn screening is another group, NIPT or nucleotide team or pathogen team is another one. It's very important that we need that one really be there and can do work effectively, because some of the data need to be analyzed rapidly and according to turnaround time. And for the software part of workflow, because we have no manpower to do, we just collaborate with the industrial partner. That is, they are very near in Singapore, and now they have a branch in Thailand to do the clinical annotation, biomedical data, natural sequencing analysis, targeted treat, recommendation. We need that, like a special type of a warning system, special type of a EMR, special type of a decision tree or making for the clinician or the people in the lab to make use of that. And now, because of technology, again, we can talk or with among our people or friends in Southeast Asia through the Skype. The work is moving very fast because of technology helping us as well. Let's talk about the first wave. Many people ask me about what I'm doing for the living. I'm the biologist, but people then ask why the biologist is involved with the pharmacogenomic in the first place, why I'm being selected to be the leading group for pharmacogenomics 10 years ago. The reason, the answer is that in the past, nobody seemed to know much about the pharmacogenomics, but in Thailand, we have the HIV crisis. That's why we have what you call personalized HIV therapy to control that resistance based on the sequencing, and the government paid for that. You can see that in the past, we do the Sanger sequencing for the HIV, the gene, or reverse transcriptase and protease inhibitor, for example, and then do the analysis and interpretation. The total sample is nearly 3,000 now, starting from 1999 up until now to be 30,000 samples already. And this, if you can read the Thai, of course you cannot, but I can explain to you. This is from the newspaper from this week, that now we plan, or we have the budget, okay? Two group of people donate it to our Pharmacogeneti hospital to do what you call the sequencing the naive patient before taking a medication, particularly the HIV-DR. And now we move from the Sanger to the next generation. The platform is quite effective. You can see that there are 2 units of the liquid handling, starting sample extraction until the DNA, pull the DNA to the chip, and the chip put it back to this one is a next generation sequencer. The throughput is quite high. When you pull more sample, the pricing is lower. So now the pricing for HIV drug resistance testing it is not going up but going down. And with that platform, we can manage to do 60,000 6,000 or 10,000 samples a year easily. That is enough to take care of the whole population of Thailand who are infected with the HIV drug resistance. And the interesting part is the interpretation. This is what we printed out for the clinician. They come up with the color. Please remember that there is a red, yellow, and green. Red is the drug that are supposed to use. The green is the drug that still be accessible and can be used. The yellow would be somehow some groups say yes, some groups say no. And the actual panel comment here would be in here. This is what the people, this is what the clinicians really need. They don't need the profile of the ATGC. They need the interpretation for them to support their decision making to treat the patient. And it turned out that the next gen is quite more sensitive than the Sanger based on the QCMD data. The second wave from HIV, we move on to the human gene, and we can find the markers like HIV or cytochrome P450 or SNP that relate to the HIV antiretroviral drug treatment, like abacavir or abacavir. Someone else could find the marker, but I talk about nevirapine or stavudine and so on. And we get the winning of Thailand Innovation Award for the panel for the prediction marker of HIV pharmacogenetics. If you are interested in HIV pharmacogenomics, I mean do the genotyping of human gene and adjust the doses or adjust the type of medication for the HIV patient, you need to read this article. And in summary, you can see that after doing the PGX, this improves, the less adverse reaction. That's why the patient can stick to the regimen quite nicely. So it turned out that the HIV RNA was undetectable after treatment adjustment by all the marker in 94.9%. That is very, very good. So the conclusion is that we sent to the government that the PGX for the pharmacogenomic testing in HIV infected adults should be considered. And moving on with the university hospital, joint hand like from Khon Kaen University, for example, Jula or Siriraj or Ramatipiti and Ministry of Public Health, T-Cell and RIKEN, we managed to get, based on the drug-induced differentiation in Thailand list, the top 10 of that drug causing severe adverse drug reaction, 8 of them we can find the markers that could be potentially used for screening. And let's see the facility at Ramatipiti Hospital. We have the pharmacogenomic lab, which is also for the drug level and also genotyping and also pharmacogenomic clinics. And this is the one who really put effort, Dr. Cholapat Sukasen, who put a lot of effort to establish a pharmacogenomic center at Ramatipiti Hospital with my support and T-Cell and Ramatipiti. The pharmacogenomic clinic is very important, somehow more important than genetic testing, because we have to do the clinical counseling before and after we have the outcome of the genetic testing, that we consult with patient and also clinician. Somehow they have a problem with how to manage that medication, how to modify, how to replace that never function, for example. This is a list of pharmacogenomic testing where Dr. Cholapat and his team listed out for routine services that based on the genotyping of the HRA, do the genotyping of the cytochrome P450, do the drug level monitoring using HPLC, for example. Integrating the pH marker into clinical practice, we started in 2011 up until now. You can see that there are two, the majority should be two groups. One is HLA typing. HLA-B typing is take about 67% of the sample, or the sample sent to the center. The second is to choose the right dose to the right patient. Dose adjustment is another about 30%. The majority of the typing for the dose adjustment would be cytochrome to C19 to about 17%, and the rest is other. The medication that really use of a service for genotyping HLA-B is, the first one is carbamazepine, 64%, and then allopurinol, 20%, and abacavir, 15%. The 64% is what because the government reimbursement for the genetic testing for the carbamazepine, and perhaps they would follow with allopurinol, but not now. For abacavir, the company will pay for the abacavir testing right now. And the next year or two, I think that the number one drug sending for do the genetic testing would be abacavir, because we now include abacavir for the into the national guideline for treatment of the HIV infected patient, and the patient can reimburse from the government. The cytochrome P450, the number one that we currently use is the 2C19 and the rest. We do a lot of things that the patient was started with the standard guideline 5 or 7 days, and we do genotyping and drug level, and have the report print out, also card, and send to the clinician. If the results good, fine. If the results are not good, then we do the adjusted dose with the TM guide. We come up with the what we call the handout. This is specially designed for the clinician. It involves with 99 drugs. If someone would order for 2C9, 2C19, or 2D6, Dr. Cholapat has designed a very nice handout, starting drug number 1 to 99. And you can see that, let's say 2C9, there are EM, IM, and PM. PM is a poor metabolizer, which is you are supposed, the clinician to prescribe or reduce dose of that particular drug, for example. This is like a guideline, the table recommendation, not guideline, recommendation for the adjustment for the clinician to look to. Because of so many drugs, all new and new coming, then this handout will be updated on the every 6 months. Among the list, we also have the printed out the report, and also have the PGX ID card. PGX ID card is like a plastic card, like an ID card, and you have the patient name, patient genetic, date of testing, pharmacogenomic interpretation, and also the clinical suggestion briefly for what to do with that, side by the pharmacogenomics. The important part is the telephone number. This is a hotline that either the patient or the clinician can call on the 24 hours, 7 days a week. It is the team of the Pharmacogenomic at Pharmacogeneti Hospital. The third wave is that we reach out to our friend in Southeast Asia. We organize what we call the Southeast Asian Pharmacogenomic Research Network. That what we have the meeting on every 2 years, I think, 1 or 2 years, and now we're going to have the 5th meeting of Southeast Asian Pharmacogenomic Research Network. And as I already told you, on the 5th of July 2016, it always conduct in English. Those who are interested, just email us, and this is free, but you need to find the ticket alternative to fly in. That's all. The fourth wave, we also collaborate with the bigger organizations such as the Global Genomic Medicine Collaborative, G2MC, which involve more than 100 international genomic medicine leaders and more than 25 countries. The current activities of the G2MC that you might be interested, there are so many, you can read on their website. One is the educational platform to support genomic medicine projects. That's why I'm talking to you under that education platform as well. And the second one for pharmacogenomics, because I'm in the pharmacogenomic section, is global eradication of preventable Stevens-Johnson syndrome and toxic hydronephrosis. That was important too. This is what the platform that for the education. Here is the faces of the people organized the global leader genomic medicine in 2014, and and you can see that you please go into their website and read the goal of the meeting, and it published it also in the Science and Translational Medicine. You can read that, and in the Genome TV, supported by the NHGRI, NIH, you can from YouTube, you can look at everyone giving their presentation. This is a very educational tool that I ever seen. In the meeting, pharmacogenomics is considered a low-hanging fruit in genomic medicine, while Stevens-Johnson and 10 rectal screening might be the low-hanging fruit in pharmacogenomics. That's why later on, if you are interested in the result in this country as a success story of genomics, you need to read this. For the Stevens-Johnson and 10, because of that, later on they have a meeting again for research direction in genetically mediated Stevens-Johnson syndrome and 10, or toxic hydronephrosis. You can see that it's more or less like a United Nation for Stevens-Johnson and 10, all the people who are expert in this field join in and try to lift up what they do. The current implementation of pharmacogenetic screening obstacle to its use. It is very interesting. I can read for you. The progress is targeted or national screening program implemented in, the very good one is in Netherlands, second Singapore, Taiwan, and Thailand. Cost effectiveness demonstrates that in Singapore and in Thailand, reduced incident in Singapore and in Thailand. The problem or obstacle would be high cost and limited access to reliable genotyping, lack of electronic health record or warning system, like lack of the policy, lack of evidence that support the decision maker to support the PGX testing for the whole nation, difficult to identify case of culprit drug, lack of no risk allele of other drug, lack of population-specific preferences based for accurate allelic imputation. And the high priority that we need to do is develop international network to pool the large number of cases diverse in the ethnicity and implicated drugs. Engage in bird unit because all the signatures are always in the bird unit, right? In case finding and research, identify the new precision marker in addition to HLA and the cytochrome P450. Identify the factor that discriminate risk allele carrier who have a reaction from those who do not. Develop low-cost pharmacogenomic assay or testing and implement it in the state or national health program. That's a very difficult one. Implement testing in high-risk population, study impact on both safety and efficacy, develop robust electronic phenotypic algorithm, conduct additional cost-effectiveness analysis to support decision-making on implementing of routine genotyping by hospital and or medical care system, address current screening challenges approach such as low frequency and positive predictive value of risk areas. And also everyone who present in that conference will be on, have already been in Genome TV. And you can see that in that meeting, Thailand showed that now, or even now, the number of Stephen Johnson of all medication is dropped down. And you can see that for the health economy evaluation, it's very important that we do the HLB star 1502 genotyping prior to carbamazepine. In Thailand, we have the HITAP or Health Intervention and Technology Assistance Program. This is like an independent body who do the economic evaluation for nearly everything in healthcare. And they did for HLB 1502 screening of the carbamazepine-induced scar in Thailand, and it turned out that it is a parameter using the model that you put all the information there and click the button, they do the calculation and come out that this is called effective or not. We received the grant, a small one, from the NIH to do what we call the major goal for this project to determine health economy evaluation as a B-star 1502 genotyping prior carbamazepine prescribing in Indonesia and Malaysia setting. This one is very important, develop the generic decision tree model and perform a cost effectiveness threshold analysis using generic model. That generic model will be available soon for everyone, for every country who are interested to put all the information, and you can see that it's effective or cost effective in your own country. And we have a meeting with among our Southeast Asian nations. This is a meeting with the Malaysian counterpart to try the module. So in the global genomic medicine collaborative in Singapore last year, among the meeting objectives were create a global toolbox for implementation of genomic medicine into practice. One of that is the module, cost effectiveness or cost economic evaluation module that everyone can use. That one of the global toolbox that G2MC prefer to have it and keep it as a present for everyone in the world. And you can see that like in Singapore now, with the effort to eradicate the Stevens-Johnson syndrome, there are no longer Stevens-Johnson syndrome in case of carbamazepine since 2014. And I'd like to tell you all that the third meeting of Global Genomic Medicine Collaborative Summit, implementing of genomics into medicine, will take place next year in April 27 to 29 in Athens, Greece. Those who are interested, please contact maybe Professor George Platinos. I really like to be there. Apart from the scientific knowledge, is some kind of very exciting paranormal picture like this. I never been there. I have to go there. I'm not interested in the hotel at all. The fifth wave. Now we because of the cost of sequencing has dropped down rapidly, so we prefer to design the panel, we call the pharmacogenomic panel, that fits for the Thai population to look through all the genes that might have effect on the drug. We join hands with the individual that they will do all the database. We have no manpower, and they will gather all the gene, variant, drug annotation, all the guidelines like a clinical pharmacogenetic implementation consortium, the CP, that we're going to have the new guideline for carbamazepine. We're going to have a meeting maybe on Friday through the call conference again. And we will have the variant, genotype, phenotype, drug response, join, interact together. And finally, we will come up like a report. And we have a team that, like I told you earlier, that we will look through it, that interpretation that probably suitable for the Caucasian may or may not be suitable for Thai, or in the people in Southeast Asia, we will adapt and adjust. And again, at the end of the game, the report would be in 3 colors that I mentioned before: red, yellow, and green. Which is, I can assure you that the clinician love looking at the color. The red is the need to try alternative drug. The yellow is they need lower or higher doses than usual or not suitable for certain conditions. The green, you still can use that medication. That's what the clinician would like to know. And the system, you can click on that. On the green or the red, if you're really interested why it's yellow, you click then, and then there's also the interpretation. This is need the manpower, so that I let the visual to do the job. And in Thailand, we have another plan too. I've been told from the friend from Ministry of Public Health, they do the analysis that in Thailand, the hospital OS and that the government pay is an open source that every hospital in Thailand can download and make use of that. Small and medium size, about 50% of Thai hospital in Thailand use the hospital OS. This is from the public domain. So we thought have a plan that maybe we download that OS and put all our innovative warning system or the knowledge from pharmacogenomic into that hospital OS. Okay, we have to talk with the people who develop this, but it would be easy because it's government support, and we are the government too. So in the near future, it's a long way to go that every hospital who download will make you a hospital OS, perhaps have the module of pharmacogenomic attached at no cost. The sixth wave, we are now working with another industrial partner to concentrate on the pharmacogenomic of cancer. And we will focus, this is very interesting that the panel would be involved with 12 genes related to the cancer, and the cancer that we look for is only 5. It's melanoma, breast, ovarian, lung, and colorectal, either the solid tumor, platinum-embedded, or the cell-free tumor DNA. And with the new platform, you can do all the cancer thing in the different cancer at the same time and at a lower price. And the interesting part is they have like a combination of automation with the maximum of usability, starting from sample extraction until data analysis and interpretation. That's what we will look through it. That's why I informed you at the beginning that our pharmacogenomic plan, we focus not on the platform, but we focus on analysis and interpretation. We need to have that group available at all times to maybe do the counseling or make a decision or provide the information for those active groups in the field of genomic medicine. Thank you so much. This is the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Prof. Vasun. That was a fantastic overview of the work that you are doing in Thailand. Congratulations. We are inspired by all that work that you are doing. Thank you. So we have a few questions. We probably have about 10 minutes in this webinar. I would just go direct to the questions. The first question is on cost. What is the cost of a test at the point of delivery to the patient?
The cost, I mean, the government, we can reimburse from the government. Let's say start with the carbamazepine, HIV 1502, it's 1,000 baht. 33 baht is equivalent to $1. It's 1,000 baht. So it means that actually the cost would be about 600 and 400 would be the cost for the pay for the hospital fee or the people who do the test. Really,
all right.
Project is one.
All right, thank you. So from a technology perspective, you use next generation sequencing now to sequence the variants. So do you then collect the samples and batch them so that you can give it at that price? How is it? How is the workflow set up?
The workflow for do the genotyping. Now we use like a combination starting from the real-time PCR or array-based system from Luminex, and the next one would be the next generation sequencing. And because now more and more people that send, because we act like a core facility, about 10 or 20 samples required for pediatric testing sent on daily basis to our hospital or the core facility where Dr. Cholapat Subasen is running. So it cost effective enough that we can do the lower price for the pediatric testing.
Right. Okay. So do you usually, so when it comes to testing, do you test for single markers or do you go for the panels now?
For the HIV, to be honest, even though they ask for like a HIV 1502, we do like a panel, like a use of Luminex, do the genotyping. The main reason is that they're so too risky that they use the real-time PCR, specifically 1502, because we find by our experience that sometimes, even though it's 1502 negative, right, by real-time PCR, the patient still develop Stevens-Johnson syndrome as well because of other HLA area that not predominate but very rare, but it's still there. So we decided last year that instead of using the one mutation, we do like a panel for the HIV. Again, because of more sample coming, we can reduce the cost.
So I was, intrigued by the fact that you now have a Southeast Asian network. So do you harmonize your testing protocols around, across the network? Does everyone follow the same testing protocols, or do they depend on the technology that is available in the different countries?
They are free to different platforms, and even the cost effectiveness. We have developed like a module that I explained to you, and they try that. It turned out that carbamazepine, for example, is cost effective in Thailand, but not cost effective in Malaysia. So Malaysia probably may not need to do the PX testing for carbamazepine, for example, because very rare. In Singapore, interesting, there are many ethnic groups. Some is conservative, some is not. And with the platform, we during the meeting, we just present what we do, and everyone learn from each other and decide by their own, because everyone have a limitation with the government and the budget as well.
Okay. So another question from the doctor's perspective. You showed the education of pharmacists. Do you do similar work with the doctors, and how is the uptake of the testing by the doctors?
For the doctor education, right? If you're talking about the senior one, or maybe it's somehow difficult right now, but you talk about the medical students, we have about 3 hours for the pharmacogenomic education for the medical students, and for the pharmacists we have the whole course for training them for pharmacogenomic right now.
So the tests then, are they mainly ordered by the doctors or the pharmacists?
They order by the doctor, and for the pharmacist in the hospital, there has a pharmacist in the hospital who prescribe the medication. We also have the pharmacist that do the PGF testing as well, have a unit separately, and they will give the counseling talk to the hospital pharmacist and also the clinician. And the one who order the test is the clinician. The one who stopped to prescribe the medication is pharmacist. After they get the information from the PGF testing.
Okay. So is there confusion in terms of interpreting the test results, or you seem to have nicely customized the report so that the decision about what treatment options are there is very clear. So what's the situation about that? Do doctors or healthcare staff have problems interpreting the reports, or are they comfortable to go and take decisions based on the reports that you issue?
This is what I really still not satisfied with it. I mean, in the big hospital or university hospital or the private hospital, they seem to equip well with the hospital IT that can manage and look after. But for the government or community hospital, where so many patients come and many doctors take turn to take care of the patient, somehow even the patient already test, because it's free from the government, that positive for 1502. Somehow they still receive the
Professor, are you? We can't hear you. We're wondering whether you're. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
It just went out. Yes. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. I will repeat my answer. Okay. Hello.
Yes, you can. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. In the hospital, I'm not quite worried much about the university hospital or private hospital, because they are well equipped with the IT system to warning to stop prescribing medication to the patient. But I'm worried about the community hospital or government hospital, where the many patients use the service. Many clinicians take turn to take care of the patient. One clinician prescribes for the blood test for carbamazepine, and another one who is prescribed the medication. Somehow they cannot see the outcome, and they on the screen or the file that somehow lead to the patient, even though they have the positive for the HIV 1502, still have the medication. That's what I really emphasize on the analysis and interpretation. And we are looking for the common hospital IT or hospital OS that everyone, I mean the small and medium size and the government hospital use, that we might put some knowledge from pharmacogenomics on top of that hospital system. So everyone now we have that warning system.
Okay. So final question maybe, Prof. Vasun, is now since this the government reimburses the cost of tests, so when, and also I know treatment in Thailand, so when there is a corresponding pharmacogenomic test available, is reimbursement for treatment dependent on the fact that the pharmacogenomic test has been performed and appropriate line of treatment has a decision on the appropriate line of treatment has been made?
For the pharmacogenomics implementation, right now we have a various type of testing, and you may say the customer would be divided into two groups. One from the government hospital that would be selectively, and right now just only one is the carbamazepine. But for the private hospital, they send all because of the maybe insurance company pay for that, or the patient themselves pay for that to do the like a whole package of the pharmacogenomic market. In the conclusion is that who pay for the pharmacogenomic for the government community, the government pay, but start with the carbamazepine. We have the independent body called HITAB who do the cost effectiveness. And it turned out that it's cost effective to do the genetic testing for carbamazepine prior to prescribe the medication. For the private one, it quite vary. Somehow they might order the SIP panel or the SIP combination with HLA.
Thank you very much. That's clear. So thank you very much, Prof. Vasun, for all of those, sharing all that knowledge with us, because I think that is would be very, very important for all of those who are listening, who listen to your talk. Is there any final message that you have for anyone who is planning to implement pharmacogenomics in their hospitals or in their countries?
So one message is that next month we're going to have the meeting, pharmacogenomic meeting in Bangkok. Even though we have the title Southeast Asia, and other Asian countries are also welcome. It's a free of charge, but you have to find the budget for traveling to Thailand. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prof. Vasun. Then, so we'll have an update maybe next year when we continue the grand rounds. Thank you.
You're welcome.